this is just temporary. My main goal is finishing uni and doing my dream job, which is being a midwife. Let's get straight into it. I know you guys have been waiting for this video, so I'm here to tell you guys how I managed to do full-time education and have a job at the same time. So let's get into this video. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nadine. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join my YouTube family. And for all my returning subscribers that are tuning in once again, hello, hi, and welcome back to a brand new video. So I get a lot of comments in my DMs, in the comment section, people asking me, how do you manage working full-time and also going to school full-time? So I'm gonna literally spill the beans, tell you guys how I managed to balance the two. And I'm not gonna say this as it was easy. It was so not easy. It was stressful, it was hard, but when you're determined to do something, when you're determined to succeed in your goals, you just overcome all the, you know, stress and all the drama and all the pulling your hair out mess, and you just get on with it. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I managed to do that. So let's get into this video. So before I start, let me just tell you guys a little bit of background, those that don't know who I am, those that haven't been following my journey so far. So I've been literally in education for about 6 years. So I went to uni twice. I went to 2 different universities. So the first time I went to uni, I was actually living on campus. I went to university in Coventry. I was there for about 3 years / 4. So I was there full-time education, and I was there for about 3 years, and throughout that 3 years I was also working. And then I went to school for the second time, but this time I was actually living at home, and I was traveling from home to uni as it was close to home, and it was also a 3-year degree, and it was full-time, and I was also working full-time. So my first degree was ODP, which I did in Coventry. Didn't like it, didn't love it, so that's why I decided to do midwifery. So midwifery was my end goal, it was my passion, it was what I wanted to do in the long run. So when I got a place into midwifery, I was like, you know what, let me just go back to school and do it instead of having a break. So then I went to University of West London, and I did a 3-year degree course in midwifery, where I commuted from home. The campus was in London where I live. So yeah, throughout that 3 years of midwifery, I was also working throughout the whole course. So that's just a little bit of background for those that don't know, you know, my journey, what I've been doing, what I've been studying, and all of that good stuff. I'll get into all the jobs that I did and all of that as the video goes on. So my first tip in order to balance school and work is you need to train your brain, your mind. You need to train yourself mentally for the journey you're about to take. If you're about to start university and you're thinking, I need money to survive, or I need money to kind of keep me going while I'm at uni, you need to train yourself mentally. It's not an easy thing to just do. You need to train your mind mentally and be in the right frame of mind of, I need to study and I also need to make a living while I'm studying. So you just can't go into school and then go get a job and think it'll just be, you know, easy peasy. You need to actually train your mind mentally and be like, I need to do this in order for me to succeed. So you need to constantly be telling yourself that I'm going to be successful in the course that I'm doing, I'm going to be rich, and I'm going to make this money. So you need to be constantly telling yourself this so that you are mentally prepared for the journey you're about to go on, because it's not easy. If you're not mentally there or mentally with it, it is going to be difficult, and there'll be times where you give up or you feel like you just can't do it anymore. So going into this journey, you need to train your mind, train your brain, physically and mentally prepare yourself for the journey that you're about to take, because it won't be easy. So you need to constantly be telling yourself, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to have money, I won't be broke while I'm at uni, I'm going to reach my goals, I'm going to make sure my goals are achievable, I'm going to make sure that I can get the right grades and also have a job. So while I was at university in Coventry doing my first degree, I got a job in a bar or in a club. I was a bartender. I was basically front of house. Sometimes I did cloakroom, sometimes I did bar work. So I just got that job as a weekend thing. So every single weekend when I'm not at uni or when I'm not at placement, I was at the club or at this bar working. It was a cash in hand kind of job. It allowed me to have some money when I needed to go out, when I needed to travel back home, when I needed to buy things. If I was low on money from student finance and I needed to buy groceries, I needed to buy food, I needed to buy clothes, anything, I had that bit of cash coming in every single week, which allowed me to kind of survive and stay afloat, because my student finance didn't cover everything. I didn't get, you know, the high amount of student finance that most students got. So I needed to have kind of a side job to kind of keep me going and keep me afloat. So the weekend job that I did when I was doing my first degree was a weekend job in a club. I did that for 3 years. So most weekends when I had the time to spare, I was at work, working every single Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday if they're open on a Sunday. So that's basically what I did while I was in Coventry doing my first degree. So when I was doing my second degree in London, I was working as a healthcare assistant in various different settings. So I was part of an agency where they send you out to hospitals and you were a healthcare assistant in other hospitals. So they trained you, gave you uniform, gave you all the necessary things that you needed, and basically they would put jobs out there on their system, and then you kind of pick and choose what days you want to work and where you want to work. So that was very flexible for me, and it helped me out a lot because I wasn't on a set schedule or set rota. So I basically got to pick and choose my hours. I got to pick and choose where I wanted to work. I got to pick and choose the days I wanted to work. So that really helped me. Like, joining an agency is by far the best thing you can do as a student. If you're doing a course like I was, where it's midwifery and you have to do placement, you're going into university and your days are not really the same all the time, having an agency job allowed me to kind of pick and choose when and where I wanted to work. So I did that for about a year when I was doing my midwifery course in London, and then things got a bit, you know, the jobs kind of got quiet and there was not a lot of work going around, and I was like, I need something steady that's going to constantly be bringing money in. So I decided to then join another company. So I joined a different company. I still had my agency on the side. I didn't leave them. You don't have to leave them if you don't want to. You can stay on their books, and then if you want to work the odd shift here and there, you just kind of call them up and be like, I'm free, is there anything happening? So I joined a different company, but this company required me to actually be on a set rota. I was like a permanent staff member. So the advantages of that is I had constant money coming in. I had constant shifts coming in. I wasn't worried about is there any, you know, shifts this week? Is there any work coming in? I was actually a permanent staff member, and I was actually put on a rota. Obviously, the disadvantages of that is you are given shifts, and if you can't work the shifts, then it becomes a bit of a problem. So you are put on a rota and you have to make those shifts if you want to continue working for that company. So I was doing that for 2 years. So the first year I was doing the agency work, where I picked and chose where I wanted to go and where I wanted to work. And then the 2 years of my midwifery course, I joined a company and I was a permanent full-time staff, and I was actually on a rota, and it was constant money coming in. So the job that I did with that company, I was a night senior care staff. So I only did night shifts. It's what I chose. It was better for me because night shifts means I don't have to be working every single day when I'm needed at university. So I decided to just be a permanent night staff carer at this company. So I was just basically doing nights. So how I managed to balance all of this I'll get into it shortly. So I'm just going to talk about my midwifery course because that was more recent, and the job that I did alongside my midwifery course was more full-time than what I did in Coventry when I was working at the bar. So what I did was I got myself a planner. So having a planner really helped me. It helped me get myself organized. Get yourself organized if you want to be able to do school and work at the same time. So the planner that I got was this cute looking planner. You can get any planner, you can use your phone if that helps you, you know, more than a physical planner, but I got myself a planner. It helped me write, you know, all the days that I was needed to go into work, all the exam dates, all the test dates, all the times that I needed to be in placement, so that my uni life didn't clash with my work life. Get yourself organized and get yourself a planner. Write things down, because you can't just memorize or remember everything in your head. It makes more sense, and you can see things clashing or things not working if you write them down and put 2 and 2 together and see if things are working out or helping you in the long run. So with being organized, so every time I would get my uni timetable, I would print out my timetable and I would add in all my night shifts that I have on my rota. So if I had uni, say Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, so for my university we were only going to uni 3, maybe 2 days a week. The most days that will be uni will be 3 days, and then the least days will be uni will be 2 days. So I'll get my university timetable and I will start slotting in when I have night shifts for my job. So when I had my rota and I saw that some days and some nights will be clashing with uni, for example, if I had a night shift and then the next morning I had uni, I was then able to ask a colleague of mine to swap a shift with me. So the good thing about where I worked is we were all able to help each other out. Most of us were students, most of us were young, doing things. We didn't have, you know, other responsibilities like kids or family to look after. So we were able to kind of help each other out and swap shifts if we needed to. So if I thought that a night shift of mine was going to clash with when I was needed to be in university or on placement, I will talk to my colleague and be like, can you do this shift for me? And then I'll pick up another shift for her and we will just do it like that. So I had to keep on top of my rota. Every time my rota was printed and it came out, I would look at my rota against my timetable for placement or for uni, and I will make sure that days won't clash. And if they were clashing, I would either swap shifts. I will talk to my manager to see if I can do either extra shifts on other days and just swap that shift or cancel that shift. So where I worked, they were good with that. They knew I was a student. I said that from the beginning. So another thing that I would say, don't lie to your work. Tell them the truth. Tell them that you are a student and that you have placement and that you have uni to go to. And some companies can be very understanding with that. So my manager was very understanding. She knew that I was trying to be a midwife, that I was in university, and that, you know, I joined the company because I wanted to work while I was a student. So I would have a conversation with her if there was no one else to swap a shift with me, and she'll kind of help me out and we work together. And I would either pick up extra shifts, which is helping her out, and then she'll move my shifts around. So work for a company that is easily flexible for you, and if you join a company that don't care that you're a student, they give you the shifts and they can't help you out, people are not helping you out, they're not trying to swap your shifts, they're not trying to, you know, do you a solid, then you need to kind of reconsider the job that you're going in. So that is another tip. So make sure that the company that you are working for is able to be flexible around your school time and what you need to do for school. Also, another key point that I must stress is school is your #1 priority, is your #1 goal. When I was a student, my end goal was finishing university and getting the grades that I need to get in order for me to be successful after I finish my degree. So my #1 priority when I was a student studying was school is my absolute priority, is what comes first. So if I wasn't able to cover that shift, if I wasn't able to make that shift, I will either won't go to work, cancel that shift, and make sure I went to work. And while I was doing my, you know, healthcare, doing all these bits and bobs on the side, I always kept in mind that this is just temporary. My main goal is finishing uni and doing my dream job, which is being a midwife. This little small jobs that I'm doing on the side, if I'm working in a hospital as a healthcare assistant, if I'm working in a club as a bartender, everything that I did on the side, I always kept telling myself that this is temporary. My main goal is becoming a midwife and getting the grades that I needed to get. So if things got in the way with my school and my education, I kind of had to let it go. I had to cancel it. I had to sort that out, because at the end of the day, school was my #1 priority, and I had to make sure that I was in school when I needed to be in school. I was on placement when I needed to be on placement, and I was on time, and I was getting my assignments done. I was getting my revision done. I was getting every single thing done that I needed to do, because school was my main focus. It was my main goal. So if work didn't align to that, if it wasn't making sense with work, I would either cancel my shifts, I will not book that extra shift, I will not work. Like there's been times where I was like, I can't work because school is too much, and it's better to cancel that side hustle, that part-time job, and focus on school, rather than quitting or forgetting about school, or putting school down and focusing on this side job, which won't get you anywhere. It might get you somewhere in the future, but your main goal or your main focus is school. You went to school for a reason. You went to school to study that degree for a reason. So at the end of the day, school should be your #1 priority. So if it's not making sense with your side job, your side hustle, whatever you're doing on the side, then you need to reevaluate and see, is this job or is this side hustle really worth it for me to kind of fail in school, when school is the goal or my lifetime aspiration in life, and it's what I need to achieve for me to be great and be successful and be rich and be all of that good stuff. So you need to keep that in mind and make sure that school is your #1 priority if you do get a second job. So to add on to my last point, which is school is your #1 goal and your #1 priority, is if you're going to school and you don't have the passion for what you're studying, or you don't love what you're studying, it is going to be very, very difficult for you to do the two, to do school and work. If you don't have the drive, the passion, and the love for what you're studying, you are going to struggle. So the mornings that you have to wake up really, really early and go to university and sit in those lectures, or go on placement and do those 12-hour long days, 12-hour nights, you are going to struggle. You are going to see it as a burden, something that's dragging you, and you will miss those school lectures, you will miss those placement hours, and you will just be working your side hustle. So you need to actually think about what you're actually studying, if you have the passion for it and if you love it, and that will help you overcome all the long nights, the long days, the hard placements, the long lectures, the revisions you have to put in. If you actually genuinely have the passion for it and you love it, you will overcome all the other stress that comes with studying full-time, and also working alongside you being a full-time student. So you need to care about what you're studying in order for you to stay motivated to do the two. If you are not motivated to study, you will pick work over your education. There'll be times where you feel like, I can't be bothered to go on placement, I can't be bothered to go to school and sit in that lecture. I'd rather just book an extra shift and go and get some money, rather than actually going to uni and getting those grades, going to placement and getting your hours and making sure you're on top of it. If you are not motivated and you don't love what you do, you will fall back, and you will then end up having the bad grades, not finishing placement, not getting the hours, not succeeding in your course, and having to just work for the money that you're making on the side, and then you won't be succeeding in your long-term goal, which is finishing uni and getting that degree in order for you to better yourself in the future. So you need to be motivated and passionate about what you are studying for you to be, you know, on time for your lectures and not to be late, for you to even turn up for school and not just, you know, sleep in or just go to work, for you to turn up to your placement and finish your placement hours, for you to revise for those exams, for you to stay in the library and do those assignments. So you need to have the passion for it, the drive for it, for you to stay motivated. So another thing that I can add onto that is, don't just go to school for the sake of it. If you are not passionate about what you are about to study, if you don't care about what you are about to study, don't go to school just for the sake of it, or just because someone's told you to go to uni, or your family is telling you to go to uni, you've seen your friends going to uni. You will just go to uni and waste your time if you're just going to uni for the sake of it. You are going to be paying 9 grand for what? For what's the reason? What is the reason? So I will advise you guys to definitely go to university and study something that you care about. Don't go to uni just for the sake of it. If you go to uni just for the sake of it, you will end up not being motivated, and you won't have the drive to actually push yourself to go to your lectures, push yourself to go to uni, and you will just be stuck in your, you know, side job, and you will just be doing that rather than focusing on the job and the career that you want to be doing in the long run or in the future. And I'm going to constantly say this throughout this video. Was it easy? No, it wasn't easy. It takes real dedication, real passion, real drive to actually go to school full time and have a job on the side. You need to have strong dedication. You need to be focused. You need to actually prepare your mind and know where you are going in the future. It was not easy for me. I struggled big time, but I managed to do it. And so many things that have helped me along the way to stay motivated and to finish my degree, and to also have a little bit of change in my pocket when I finished. Because for me, I did not want to be broke when I finished university. No way. I wanted to have some money in my pocket, in my account, for when I finished my degree. I didn't want to be broke. So this is why I literally dedicated myself, prepared myself mentally in order for me to stick to school and to also make some money on the side. So other things that have helped me while I was studying full-time and working is, on my days off, for example, you know, I was only in uni for 3 days, maybe 2 days. So for my days off, I will either be at work, and when I'm not at work, when I'm not due in at work, I will be using those days to study. I'll be in the library from the morning up until the evening studying, catching up on work that I've missed or that I haven't done because of work or because I've been here and there. I'll be literally using my days off to go to the library and making sure that I was on top of things. So what I would say is, on your days off, when you don't have uni, where you don't have work, where you don't have any other responsibilities such as family time or seeing your friends, this and that, use your days off, prioritize those days off to actually read your work, do your assignment, revise for that exam, read up on notes on placement, do whatever it is you need to do for school on your days off. So I use my days off to sit in the library from morning to evening, and then I'll go home and sleep, and probably the next day I either had work or I had placement or I had uni. So my days off were not wasted. I used them to make sure that I was on top of everything I needed to do in uni and on placement and all of that jazz. So another thing that has helped me stay on top of my studying and work is the job that I got as a senior healthcare assistant allowed me to actually do some of my revision or some of my work while I was actually at work. So if it's possible, it's not always possible, but if it's possible, get yourself a job that will allow you to also study or have some free time for you to study while you're at work. So because I worked during the night, it was very quiet. The patients or the residents that I was looking after, they were all asleep. There was not much going on during the night. So I had a lot of free time at night, which is one of the reasons why I chose to do night shifts at my job, because it allowed me to have a lot of free time at work to read if I needed to read, to sit and do my assignments. So there were nights where I would sit and actually do my assignment while I was at work. there were nights where I would sit and revise for like exams that were coming up, read books, read over my notes from uni. It allowed me to kind of stay on top of things, to make sure that I wasn't missing out on anything. So as a senior healthcare assistant, I kind of overlooked what all the other colleagues were doing. I was kind of just overlooking, making sure that everything okay, making sure the home was okay. So it allowed me to kind of have some free time as well during my break. If you know, if people were on break, or if I was on break, do my essays, read through my notes, and make sure that I was on top of everything. So one thing I would suggest is get yourself a job that will allow you to do that. And obviously there's jobs that won't allow you to study while you're working, or that you just don't have the time because of the, you know, the demand of the job. But if it's possible, if you know, there's jobs out there that will allow you to have, you know, some free time to read your notes, to study, etc., like my work. But if you don't, it's not the end of the day. Just make sure that you balance your days off, your annual leave, and make sure that you study when you're not at work or at uni. So adding on to that is when you get your assignments, and they give you a date when the assignment is due, they've spoken to you about what you need to do for the exact assignment. As soon as you get your assignment, make sure you don't let it just sit there and pile up. As soon as you get your assignment from uni, go and do your research for that assignment. Start your assignment as soon as possible. Don't let it pile up. Don't let it sit there. If you let it sit there and you have shifts that you've booked or shift that you've been booked on to do, you will struggle to finish that assignment, and you won't get the good grades that you need to get for that assignment, or you just won't do it and it will just be a straight fail. So one thing that helped me is when I got an assignment from uni, I made sure that I started that assignment as soon as possible. I didn't just let it sit there and let it pile up, because if you let it sit there and let it pile up, you will get to the point where you are rushing your assignment, you are having to cancel so many things just to do the assignment, or you're not even able to do the assignment on time, and then you fail in your assignment. So make sure you don't let it pile up. As soon as you get your assignment, do your assignment as you can, so that you don't have to cancel work and then you're not making any money, or you're having to hand in work that isn't complete, that isn't finished, that you haven't taken time out to actually do, and therefore you're not getting the grades that you need in order for you to pass that assignment and pass your course. Because life happens while you're even at uni and while you're working. You have this wedding to go to, you have this cousin to visit, you have this going on, that going on. So make sure it doesn't pile up, just in case life also gets in the way. For me, it was so good going to work knowing that I don't have an assignment due, or an assignment that I haven't done, or a revision that I haven't revised for. Going to work with a clear mind is what you guys need to kind of do. So allowing yourself to do all your revision and all your assignments in time will allow you to go to work with a clear mind, knowing that you are not wasting your time working and getting money and you're failing your assignments on the side. It just helped me a lot knowing that I had no assignments on my back, or that I had to work for, and I am putting all my energy and all my time into this job that won't get me anywhere, and I'm just, you know, neglecting my assignments. So going to work knowing that I had nothing to revise for, or no assignments due, helped me out big time. So another tip that I'll give you guys is you need to have that mentality of, you know, work now, play later. So what I mean by that is your social life kind of takes a backseat if you want to succeed. So my social life was non-existent for 3 years when I was studying midwifery. I literally had no social life. I had literally like 10% of my social life, and the other 90% I was school, work, and that was it. School and work. So it's okay to just tell your friends, no, you can't go out, no, I have an assignment, or no, I'm going to work to make my money. So you need to have that mentality of, you know, work now and play later. Once you finish that degree and you got that money, you're making that serious money, then you can play, then you can meet your friends, then you can fly and go on a holiday. But for now, I need to get my education together, I need to get my money together, and then we can you know, figure it out once I'm at that level where I can, you know, have some free time. I'm not, you know, my head is not stuck in a book, and I'm not needing to revise all the time or sit essays all the time. So for me, I told my friends, no, I can't come. I missed out on a lot of holidays. I didn't, you know, go on all the major holidays that all my friends were going to. There was family vacations that they were going to, and I was like, I can't come. I'm on placement. I have hours to make, or I have, you know, assignments to write. I have revision to do. So there was a lot of no, I can't go out, or no, I can't make it, when I was studying and working at the same time, because my social life kind of took a back seat, and I was okay with that, you know, because I had mentally prepared myself for that. So all of my social life took a back seat, and I generally just focused on school and work for the past 3 years. And now that I'm finished, I am living my best life. I'm going on holiday, I'm meeting my friends, because I don't have the stress of I need to read a book, I need to revise, and that essay is sitting there waiting for me, looking at me, and I need to do it in order for me to pass. So now that I'm actually qualified and I have my degree, I can fly out, I can meet my friends, we can have a good time and all of that good stuff. So work now, play later is a big point. So another tip that I'll give you guys is, when you get your school holidays or your annual leave, make sure you use those annual leaves or school holidays wisely. Obviously you can pick up extra shifts, get your money together while you're on holiday or annual leave, but also prioritize your learning while you are on annual leave or when you are on break from school. Still pick up that book, still revise, still make sure you're on top of it, as well as picking up extra shifts. So when I had annual leave, I just didn't fly out and do a madness. I picked up extra shifts so I can get my money together. So in picking up extra shifts, it meant that when I then go back to school or back to uni, I didn't have to do that many shifts because I had, you know, my money together when I was on break. So I picked up extra shifts so that my money was okay. I didn't have to do extra shifts while I was at uni. So that's what I use my, you know, free time and my annual leave for. I also use my free time and annual leave for preparing for uni when I go back. So I was reading things, I was making notes of things, I was preparing for my assignments. So we had all our assignments of all the 3 years on our university system, so we knew which assignments were coming. So I would prepare for the assignments that were coming in the future, make sure that I had researched, I have all the, you know, materials for if I had an exam that was coming in the near future that they hadn't told us about, but I knew what the exam was for. I would start reading around that exam, making sure that when I then have that lesson, when they're talking about this exam we're about to have, I am literally prepared for it. So during your annual leave and your, you know, school holidays, either pick up extra shifts so that you don't have to work that much when you're back at school, or even do both, or pick up extra shifts and study while you're doing your extra shifts if you're able to. And also, like I said before previously, is school is your #1 priority. If you're not able to do your full-time job on the side as well as school, you might have to consider going part-time with your side job, or working 1 day a week while you're at uni, or 2 days a week. And if, you know, the 2 days is too much, just do the 1 day a week. Or if the job isn't fitting into your school life and you're not doing great, you know, studying and working, then you might have to consider not working at all and kind of just focusing on school and then picking up work when you can. So adding to that, when I had a big exam or a big major assignment that I needed to pass, and if I felt that I was working way too much, or work was getting in the way of my revision or in the way of me writing this exam, I would literally cancel all my shifts. Sorry guys, my camera literally died on me and I lost my train of thought and I don't know where I was. So just to summarize this video, I don't want this video to be too long. I'll just say the key points of what I said earlier in this video, just to help you guys, you know, retain all this information. Is kind of a lot and I spoke a lot. So what I would say is, point #1 is train your mind, train your brain, train yourself mentally if you want to do full-time work and full-time school. Train your mind. Second point is, Do a course that you are passionate about, that you will love, that will keep you motivated to actually attend uni, go to your lectures, sit those assignments, sit those essays, go to placement. So do the course that you want to do and don't just go to school for the sake of it. Third point is, try and get a job that is flexible enough for you to do both. So get a job like an agency where you can pick and choose the days you go in, or get a job like I did where it only requires me to work night shifts, and on those night shifts I was able to actually study and actually, you know, revise and read a book while I was at work. Or a job where you are able to kind of swap shifts if you're not able to make those shifts, if it clashes with uni or placement, all of that. So try and get a job that you are able to manage and that is flexible for you and that doesn't clash with uni. Fourth point is, make sure you have your annual leave, your days off school, and use them wisely. Don't waste them. Make sure you use those days to study, to revise, to do your essays, do your homework, and all of that good stuff. And then pick up extra shifts during your annual leave or your days off when you can and if you can. Fifth point is, you need to have the mindset that is, you know, work now, play later. So your social life kind of takes a backseat and you need to focus on school and getting your money together. So work now, play later is the mentality you need to have. Point number 6 is, be organized. Make sure you have a planner or somewhere where you write your important dates, your assignments, when assignments are due, your essays, your exams, the days you are needed to be in uni, the days you are needed to be on placement. Make sure you organize and plan your time wisely. If you don't plan your time wisely, it will all be a mess, it will be a headache, you'll be pulling your hair out and you'll be crying yourself to sleep. So organize your time wisely, get yourself a planner like I did if you can, or if however you organize yourself, whatever way works for you, just make sure you are on top of things and that you are organized. Point number 7 is, make sure that uni is a priority. Make sure you make university a priority. If your goal is to be successful at what you are studying, make university a priority. Make sure it doesn't take a back seat. Make sure you don't get lazy, you don't get comfortable with the money that you're making on the side. Always make university a priority. If you are slacking on your uni work, you know, forget that job, forget that shift, you do it another time. Don't get too comfortable with your side hustle. Focus on the real objective, the real goal of achieving your goal of finishing your degree and being even bigger and making even bigger money in the future. And point number 8, which is the last and final point, is just have that mentality that you're going to be successful and you will be successful. For everyone that's telling you you can't do it, you can't have a job and go to school at the same time, it is very possible. I did it and I managed to do it and I'm still successful. I still got my degree and I'm still, you know, making money. I still made money on the side. Everyone that's telling you that it's not possible, you can't do it, you can't do both, tell them that they're wrong. Tell them to watch my video, and yeah, make sure that you are successful in what you want to do. Make sure you stick to it. Make sure that you don't go off the path that you want to go just because of something small. Think about the vision, think about the goal where you want to be and stick to it. It is very possible to go to school and to have a job at the same time, because there's a lot of us that do it. So make sure you stay motivated, you stay dedicated, and you achieve those goals that you want to achieve for your future. So that is basically it for this video. I know I've said so many things, but I tried to, you know, stay on topic. If I rambled, I am sorry, but you know, I was just too passionate about this one. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was insightful for you guys. I hope it helped. If you guys have any more questions, if I forget anything, DM me, comment below, we can have a chat. Don't mind at all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.